robots in the Mayhem. One of them survives to go through to the Annihilator. Will it be Velocirippa, Comengetorix, or Disc-O-Inferno?
Well, for the Mayhem, it's going to be 3 in the arena. It's going to be metal meltdown, absolute carnage. First team, Disc-O-Inferno. Why would you do this? Is this not nuts?
We don't want to enter next year. We're fed up with it, so we're just going to get it ripped out. It's a bit of a sort of a suicide mission this year.
Why don't you want to enter next year?
Just lots of work, really.
That's the point. That's what boys like to do, spend years and years building things and then having them blown up in 1 second.
Well, this is the blow-up bit, isn't it?
OK, so. Lovely. What do you think of your opponents, then?
Well, we haven't had a good chance to inspect them, but they look sort of fairly brittle, so we're good pounding.
Hoping to do some damage today.
Yeah? Anyone you're going for in particular?
There's a very small one we're up against, Velocirippa, which we think we can take bits out of.
Very small, you say?
It's about the size of our blades, really.
Let's go and see.
From Cambridge, Disc-O-Inferno.
Watch for the 30-kilo huge 3,000 RPM flywheel here. Could be lethal. It's invertible, can run both ways, up 24-volt power. Let's dance! The teams together in the pod. There. Comengetorix team in gear at the controls. Our house robots, Sergeant Bash with its flamethrower and the nasty nippy pincers. Not forgetting Shunt with the push, the scoop, the axe.
Rombateers, stand by. 3.
Comengetorix to the right-hand side, Velocirippa to the left, and immediately a pincer attack on Disc-O-Inferno. They were collaborating, they were musing, they were planning a joint attack on Disc-O-Inferno. And I wonder if Mark Marshall and Nick Bullock and the Disco Boys will forgive and forget. I doubt it. Velocirippa looks a cross between a dinosaur and some sort of wild boar, actually, as it comes on the attack. Tentatively so on Comengetorix with the axe that comes down. And there's Disc-O-Inferno with the hypno-disc-type spinning weapon. Velocirippa backing away to come in behind on Comengetorix. And again, Disc-O-Inferno, a slam of the flywheel, backing away, slicing down the side of Velocirippa there. Comengetorix taking a bashing. That flywheel weighs 20 to 30 kilos, spins at 3,000 RPM. Comengetorix, the team were worried, and it seems to me as if they're immobilised. They are. The F-bots in there and counting them out. No wonder they look worried. Well, the axe is moving, but nothing else is, and they're at it. Comengetorix have gone. 1 down, 2 remain. Disc-O-Inferno and Velocirippa ripped apart. In goes Bash to destroy what's left of Comengetorix. Oh! Well, they don't want to win Disc-O-Inferno. They say they don't want to be here. Look at that! The innards are ripped away of Velocirippa. Counted down and counted out to prevent any further punishment. And Disc-O-Inferno is the winner. What's left of Velocirippa is about to meet its doom. One eye, a few teeth left. Nuts and bolts have come off everywhere there. Oh dear, and it's what makes it worse is hit the release button now, so the pin can go down, so it means that Shunt and Co can get rid of Velocirippa. Look at this, through the air, 1, 2, 3, forward rolls, and there's the pit release button. It means that, of course, Shunt and Bash out there in the arena can do damage to Comengetorix, first of all. Tried the same trick, didn't come off this time. Comengetorix, Tom Curtis Horsfield, 13 years of age. Likes his Manchester United football. Comengetorix, offside. And off the pitch. In a pool of smoke. Burn, baby, burn. They're down. The winner, of course, Disc-O-Inferno, and mightily impressive.
Well, Velocirippa is extinct. I don't know how Comengetorix had the goal to be in this competition. The winner is Disc-O-Inferno! It's a little robot.
Yeah, nice to see it work for once.
Yeah, I like that, It kind of does a bit of damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's about twice as heavy as it was last year. So.
You're through to the Annihilator. Now, the Annihilator, let me explain. It's full-on carnage. Total wanton destruction. 6 robots down to 1. Madness and mayhem on a grand scale.
I'm going to build a new blade then.
You better put a new blade on it. How do you feel about it, though? Do you think you can take on a lot more robots?
Yeah, I'll be a laugh.
It'll be a laugh.
Yeah, let's go for it.
It'll be a laugh. Let's go for it. That's what we want to hear. Let's go for it. Action! Ladies and gentlemen, Disc-O-Inferno!
Disc-O-Inferno, are you going to let them talk to you like that?
We're quietly confident we can win this in our tea break, really.
We shall see.
From Cambridge, Disc-O-Inferno.
Watch for the 30-kilo, huge 3,000 RPM flywheel here. It could be lethal, it's invertible, it can run both ways up. 24 volts power, so let's dance!
Roboteers, stand by.
In one of our control pods, Panic Attack, Steel Avenger, and Spirit of Nightmare on the right. They're Fighting Talk on the left, Disc-O-Inferno, and Napalm on the right again. And our 2 house robots in the war zone, Sir Killalot with the crushing claws. And alongside our mighty knight, Matilda, with the tusks and the spinning flywheel and the danger with every breath.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
If you had to ask me, the favourites, I go for Disc-O-Inferno and Panic Attack. They're in the middle, being sandwiched. The Steel Avenger got in a blow. Also Fighting Talk in the yellow. The Steel Avenger slamming in now to the Hippopotamus team. And away comes Fighting Talk, rocking and rolling. More activity and action than you see from a normal Hippo. This is the Steel Avenger. And right in the middle there, Napalm, and something's come up immediately. I'm worried about the armour plating of Napalm up on top of Panic Attack, but in trouble early on there. Napalm with a skull on the back of what looks like a garden pitchfork, to be honest, is wavering and wobbling. Fighting Talk in the mix as well, but the main front of the attack is on Napalm and Spirit of Nightmare there, the wedge in underneath. As Sir Killalot takes a look and plucks Napalm up into the war zone sky. Down they come with a crunch. Spirit of Nightmare in there as well. Panic Attack turning away. Spirit of Nightmare has the flipper stuck open. No, they come down. Sword movement there from the prongs to the back as well. There's the Disc-O-Inferno team. Staying out of danger early on. Waiting and biding their time. Once again, the Steel Avenger with the Feather Duster. Telltale insignia on the back is in the mix of things. Panic Attack trying to get in underneath Fighting Talk with a little bit of a lift. Look at the scratches and dents and scars on the Hippo. Spirit of Nightmare in underneath as well. Looking impressive early on, Spirit of Nightmare here. The Steel Avenger comes across his bows, and again, Disc-O-Inferno this time. Where did that metal come from? Panic Attack or Disc-O-Inferno? Slamming into Spirit of Nightmare before moving away. Crunching into Fighting Talk again. I think Nightmare looks good here, and has the disc stopped, I wonder? Well, the pit release button has been depressed. The judges watch on, so do the crowd. Who's going to go down the pit first and be eliminated straight away? Fighting Talk looks to be still competitive, but is it a danger to others? I don't know. Panic Attack right in there, the yellow with the skirts these days for extra protection. Moving away from danger, Disc-O-Inferno with a slam on Fighting Talk. Is Fighting Talk mobile? Oh, I don't think so now. What's happened to the Hippo? Look at this. Oh, it was once a sand pit. Sand to sand, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You've had your lot. I would have thought Disc-O-Inferno up on his side. The forks of Panic Attack will be crucial here as the Annihilator goes on. And Spirit of Nightmare showing away against Disc-O-Inferno, which looked invincible coming into this Annihilator for me. But the blade has stopped spinning, it looks like. That's the way to do it, in underneath, turning it on to Matilda and the great flywheel, spun Disc-O-Inferno into the air. Good driving of Spirit of Nightmare, taking there Disc-O-Inferno into the CPZ, and then of course the lift robots can come in, and they're being counted out now by the ref bot. That's the end of Fighting Talk. So it looks as if they will be the first to go, but Disc-O-Inferno looks to have very little life left in them. The first robot annihilated, though, is Fighting Talk. Counted out, there's the red card.
Talk, all talk and no trousers. They are eliminated.
Well, after that big mash-up Word is in the pits that Disc-O-Inferno are having a lot of trouble putting their robot back together. Here they are, hard at work. Team, hello. I hear you're having a few problems. What's the damage?
Yeah, well, we've damaged some beams and things, but we've managed to repair that. Problem is the electronics are now playing up. We're not sure what's going on there.
Okay, and George Francis is helping you out. That's got to be a good sign. Does it look good, George? Is there hope?
I'm a bit puzzled at the moment, still working on it.
Okay.
Doing my best.
Do you think you'll get back together for the next bout?
I don't know. What's going on is very strange, and so we don't understand how it's possible, even. So,
Okay.
yeah, no idea.
Good luck, you haven't got long. Disc-O-Inferno, did you manage to sort out that problem that was totally foxing you and physically impossible?
Yeah, there was some mystery with electronics, but we seem to have solved that. I'm not sure, but we're quietly confident again, I think, really.
Are you?
It's the best way to put it, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Now, hopefully one of these robots will go out, but as we've seen before, it could be 2, 3, or maybe all of them.
Roboteers, stand by.
It's the survival of the fittest after all. Panic attack in there. And Disc-O-Inferno spinning the disc already. There they are together in the pod, the two teams. There's Spirit of Knightmare. And the Steel Avenger. John Willoughby at the controls. Along with the Spirit of Knightmare team on the left there. Nigel Paget, Malcolm Summers and Lee Summers. Matilda's in the arena for us. With the tough exoskeleton. She lacks self-control, you know. I've seen her. And Shunt. Can't self-right, we don't mind. It can push just about anything else out of the arena.
3, 2, 1.
They're at close orders already. The Steel Avenger backing away. In goes Spirit of Knightmare. Now, I'm surprised they're doing so well, and all of a sudden the Steel Avenger is on its side. That's not good. And Panic Attack driving there against the arena sidewall. In go the mighty forklifts that once upon a time took Panic Attack to the British Championship title. Twice a Robot Wars Series semi-finalist after that. And the Steel Avenger is on its side. Righting though, using those side arms, which effectively act as 3-mech, self-righting mechanisms. Panic Attack senses though that the Steel Avenger is the weakest here. Disc-O-Inferno seems to be all right after the repairs. Spirit of Knightmare with that refined wedge shape and the 70cm wide pneumatic lifter coming in, and Panic Attack in underneath. Disc-O-Inferno once again, in slams the Steel Avenger. Panic Attack right in the middle of this, and also the ref, but oi, ref, get out of there. Let's get your glasses on, ref. Out comes the Steel Avenger to take on Disc-O-Inferno. Is that wise with the 30 kilo, 3,000 RPM large rotating flywheel? Again, it seems to have stopped though, as the Spirit of Knightmare comes in underneath the Steel Avenger. A vent of steam from the war zone floor, doesn't do any damage. Still the feather duster is intact. Sparks around the arena, flames as well. We've got the floor flipper, we've got the great pit. No one's pressed the button. In goes the Steel Avenger axe, the pneumatic axe. John Willoughby was saying he's just about to axe anyone. There goes the pit release siren. Down goes the pit. Oh, goodness me. Both Panic Attack and the Spirit of Knightmare came so close there. Panic Attack also deadly near a CPZ at corner patrol zone. Bossed by the house robots. This is very even so far. This is a good Annihilator battle as the Panic Attack team got plenty of motor left in. Yes, here they come again, Panic Attack. 24-volt motor to slam into Spirit of Knightmare. In the centre of the arena, oh, the axe comes down from Steel Avenger, trying to get hold there. Failed to do so on Hypnodisc. Takes on Panic Attack with the almost impregnable armour we've heard and seen before. And slicing into the side skirts, though, a dent is made. A dent, we'll call it a chasm. Over goes the Steel Avenger. In goes Disc-O-Inferno. Look at this, there's a real pile up there. And the damage was caused by Spirit of Knightmare dragging away the Steel Avenger and rolling the Avenger. Very well armoured, Spirit of Knightmare. Good control. Not a bad top speed and impressive so far. And for me, the Steel Avenger is next to go. Yes, the ref bot is counting out John and Jackie Willoughby's Steel Avenger. Tony Bates is in that team as well, and equally dismayed, because that's it for the Steel Avenger. Next to go, and then there were 3.
Well, there's been a lot of scraping robots back together for the final of this Annihilator. It's probably been the toughest one that we've seen. We should have had 4 fights to get here, and we've only had 2, but the competition is looking quite strong, we think. Now, they don't call this extreme for nothing, do they?
No, we're amazed it's still working, really. We spent a long time hammering our beams back straight, and there's a few hits left in the disc, so we tend to make use of that.
We've got enough hits to take them out, we think.
Have they?
Well, they've done all the damage to us so far, so perhaps it's a payback time for us.
OK.
And our tactics are going to be just to push and pit.
Fantastic. In a few minutes' time, we will have an Annihilator champion.
We always knew there can only be one winner. On Robot Wars, second place is nowhere. So let's settle this thing right here, right now. First up, put them together, take them apart, put them back together again. Spirit of Knightmare! And fire up some frenzy for Disc-O-Inferno!
Roboteers, stand by.
There's the Spirit of Knightmare team, Nigel, Malcolm and Lee. And Mark Marshall and Nick Bullock in the Disc-O-Inferno box. Our house robots in the war zone, the pushing power of Shunt with the axe and the scoop. And Sergeant Bash has fully recovered from the dust-up last time around.
3, 2, 1,
Disc-O-Inferno on the left has the more potent weaponry with the spinning disc, that's for sure, but if Spirit of Knightmare can get a broadside attack on, it can get in underneath that high ground clearance, and indeed does so. There's the lifting wedge at the front, 70 centimetres wide. There's the spinning disc of Disc-O-Inferno. They dodge each other. You've got to dodge that disc, whatever you do. Again, they're in underneath. There's the little flipper, and something's come off the side of Spirit of Knightmare's flipper, and it's bent and buckled, and I wonder if that will now be able to work properly. Look at that! Almost ripped off the pneumatic lifter, crashing against the ref bot. Disc-O-Inferno will turn and smash against Spirit of Knightmare again. Spirit of Knightmare trying to get side on to get the cone in underneath. Can't do so, slams against the side. Disc-O-Inferno looks a little bit sluggish, top speed of 10 miles an hour, slightly the quicker of the two. Slightly the lighter of the two as well. Moving again to rip and shred, bend and with effect again. The bit release button's activated. Disc-O-Inferno is to the side. Look at the damage caused to the front of Spirit of Knightmare. And I don't think that is working properly. The pneumatic lifter. They don't seem to be moving freely, Spirit of Knightmare. I think they've been impressive throughout this Annihilator. But when faced with a 30-kilo, 3,000 RPM spinning flywheel of Mark Marshall and Nick Bullock, well, Nigel Paget, Markham Summers and young Lee had very little chance of survival, it would seem. Oh-ho! Slice and dice time. Backing away to come crunching forward on another assault. Look at that! It really is dishevelled and bent and buckled and almost ripped clean off there. On one side, it's actually buckled back onto itself. Described as a refined wedge, Spirit of Knightmare. There is no refinement in Disc-O-Inferno's attacks. And from now on in, Spirit of Knightmare, it's damage limitation for you. And they know it there, don't they? Lee Summers at the controls of Spirit of Knightmare, 15 years of age at King Edward VII College. Oh dear. The damage is unending for Spirit of Knightmare, and now surely it's buckled in an open position, and look at the back of it as well. As the ref bot starts to count them out, it's almost crumpled. It's almost split apart. And they're out of the competition, Spirit of Knightmare. The Annihilator winner, Disc-O-Inferno. And now the house robots, Bash and Shunt, can come in and finish the Knightmare boys off. A nod from Lee Summers. Cool in defeat. He knows now the house robots can drag Spirit of Knightmare off to their lair. Up they go, dropped by Shunt, shoveled onto the floor flipper, and away they go. 100 kilos crashing to the deck. The Knightmare flies on and on and on. But the nightmarish result of the Annihilator final for the Summers boys and Nigel Paget is defeat. And ultimately, the pit of oblivion. Disc-O-Inferno, the last to survive the Annihilator winners.
Maria Knightmare consigned to the pit of oblivion. The winner, burn baby burn, it's Disc-O-Inferno! You won the Annihilator!
We did, yes. It's quite a surprise, isn't it?
As I was saying to them, it just shows how durable your robot is because...
Well, we
It's nice and malleable. We can bang it back into shape. I think that's what it shows.
Yeah, but like, you know, when you've got 6 robots and they're all going hammer and tongs, I mean, you do take an awful beating there, don't you?
Yeah.
Has the damage been difficult to repair?
Yeah, we didn't think we were going to be back in after like the first bit.
We've had some hectic times in the pits, really. Working quite hard and...
Well, you really have to build a durable robot if you're going to survive Robot Wars Extreme. What do you think of the competition?
Yeah, they were all very good. Nice of them not to have any too hard bits to break our blades off again. But yeah, that's good.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's
Did you think you were going to win?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
All I can say to you is, you're tonight's Annihilator champions. Let's hear it for Disc-O-Inferno!